So let's get ultimately to the thing that I know that most people have been watching for and all that good stuff, and that's merchandise. Obviously, Fully Gimmicked is a fantastic merch brand. It's one that I'm very closely associated with, that I work with, that we've got shirts for plenty of amazing wrestlers. And so I'm here to talk a little bit about that. Not just put Fully Gimmicked over, but also to really talk about merchandise, because merch is something that I think a lot of wrestlers are kind of either confused about or nervous about or don't really know where to get started. So merchandise is not just about making money. Yes, it's something that can happen if you're gaining a following and you've got options. You can make a decent money with that, even more so than what you're getting paid to actually wrestle. But that's not the point. The point of merchandise is, because Brutal Bob Evans told me about this once. He goes, hey, a lot of wrestlers aren't confident. They aren't confident in themselves. They aren't confident in what they're doing. So they don't ever believe they're ever going to be able to sell a t-shirt or sell an 8x10 or anything. So that's why they don't do it. It's not that they can't. They just go, who's going to buy a shirt of mine? Nobody cares. That's not the point. The point is that if you are really putting effort in and you're really creating this character, this gimmick, and you're really telling stories out there, there's going to be a point that you're going to make a connection with somebody in that crowd. And who knows, you might end up being somebody's favorite wrestler. John Davis is my dad's favorite wrestler, by the way.
I'm aware.
My parents refuse to go to a show that I'm a part of unless John Davis is booked.
Oh, sounds familiar.
But my point is this. There's going to be a time, some point in your career, that you're going to make a connection with somebody in the audience. Something you've done that night, some story you've told that night is going to connect with somebody on a real, tangible level, a level that no other form of entertainment can provide. And on that night, that person's going to want to come to you and they're going to want to show their support of you because they believe what you're doing. They believe in you. They believe in the story you're telling. I don't give a shit if you're not confident. You're like, oh, that day will never come. If you really put the work in, that day will come. And on that day, when you've made a connection with somebody in that audience and they want to come up and they want to support you tangibly, because there is no other commodity on this earth as tangible as money. They want to give you money because they know you're not getting paid much. They know you're working for peanuts. They know you're putting your body on the line. They want to show that support. And you have the goddamn audacity to not give them that opportunity to go, yeah, I don't really sell anything. Sorry. How dare you? That's what merchandise is. It's not a money-making scheme. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about giving people the opportunity to connect with you on a real level and show their support. Because, yeah, you can buy a ticket to fucking Avengers and part of that money goes to, Robert Downey Jr. because he signed a hell of a contract, and that's great. And you can wear the Iron Man t-shirt, and that's cool. Robert Downey Jr. didn't know that. He didn't get a notification on his phone like, hey, Bob Smith bought a fucking Iron Man shirt. He doesn't know. He'll never meet you. But a wrestler will. A wrestler can meet and connect with somebody on a real level. That's what separates pro wrestling from every other form of entertainment that's out there. That's what makes it special. And to deny people that opportunity, fuck you. So that's what merchandise is. And so with that in mind, I don't care if you've been wrestling for 2 weeks. I don't care if you've been wrestling for 20 years. You need to give people an opportunity to support you if they care, which they will if you care. And no, it doesn't mean the same week that you make shirts for the first time that they're going to sell out. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Most likely you will because you've got friends and family and they're going to want to support you. But it doesn't mean anything. That's not a guarantee. But you need to have the options out there so that people who really connect and really want to support you have that chance. Because when Luna and I were first getting into independent wrestling, as just fans in the crowd, I can't tell you the amount of shows that we went to. We were like, man, super loved your work out there. You were really amazing. Can we buy anything? Is there anything that we can, help you with? And they would go, I got a pro wrestling tee shop. I guess you could look on there. Guess what? By the time I've gone home, I have talked myself out of that purchase because I got to get groceries the next day or whatever. But if you had it right then and there, fuck me. Here's the money. You earned it. You fucking earned it. If you don't give people that opportunity, then what are we going to do? So I actually have I have props for this segment.
Oh, yes.
So the key to a good merch table is you want to have a variety of options. You don't want to just be like, hey man, it's $30 t-shirts or get the hell out. Like, you want to have a variety of options because not everyone's made of money. Especially coming out of a pandemic, people aren't flush with cash. So you want to have options so that even a kid who comes up and like, look, man, I got $3. What can I do? You're my new favorite wrestler. How do I support you? And you go, you know what? Here, kid, here's this, whatever. So I'm going to go through some examples of some stuff here. So actually one question that I had in advance that I got from iRhea's radio and the Satitude era was, I see every wrestler have 8x10s at their table, but no one ever buys them. What's the point of having them? So, obviously, for wrestlers who are automatically just attractive and just great to the eye, they typically don't have a problem selling 8x10s. If you're, a foxy lady or you're a dude who looks great, usually you're going to sell at least to a couple for the creep demo. They're going to buy like, okay, well, I'm going to do unspeakable things with this, but I appreciate it. But every wrestler should have 8x10s because it can be a lower price pointed item, meaning maybe you charge $5, maybe you charge $10 for an 8x10. But that's something that anybody can come and be like, here's $5, thanks. Now, the catch of that is you need to make your 8x10s interesting. If you're not selling 8x10s, probably a problem with the 8x10.
No.
If you're just like, hey, man, I'm dude with average size body, boom, please buy my 8x10. Okay, maybe. But if it's something that ties into your character, I'll give you a perfect example. I was talking to a wrestler once. He wanted his character to be that he was vegan. He was vegan and proud of it. I was like, okay, that's fine. He showed me his 8x10. His 8x10 is a washed out photo of him in his gear. Okay. Well, I don't see vegan when I see that. I see here's a guy who's working, and that's great. I told him, I said, here's what you need to do. You need to get like either a shirt or something that looks kind of like your gear. You need to go to a petting zoo and have somebody take photos of you holding like a baby animal. Yeah. And then on the back of that 8x10, because don't go to Walgreens and go get your 8x10s printed. Go to a FedEx, go to a Kinko's, go to someplace, a UPS store. They'll print them for cheap on good quality paper.
The good stuff.
But on the back of it, print a recipe for vegan muffins.
Yes.
Because as soon as somebody sees it, they're going to go, what is a recipe for... Oh my God, you are vegan. That stands out. That's something that someone's going to want to buy.
Yeah.
Make it stand out. Make it fit with your character. I was talking to Masha Slamovich once, and she is a very proud Dynamite Kid, Russian kind of character. Great for her. She's proud of her heritage. Awesome. I told her, if you are not signing every 8x10 in Russian, you are leaving money on the table. You are destroying your own world that you've built by not signing in Russian, because that's what people are expecting. If it's like, hey, thanks for everything, you'd be like, what? I thought
you want
you're a proud Russian woman. What happened? These are all elements that you should be connecting to, but to the point of having a variety of things on your table. 8x10s are on the lower end of cost. So if you've got somebody who's kind of on the fence, like, well, I don't know, you go, look, here's my t-shirt. If you buy the t-shirt, I'll throw the 8x10 in because you're awesome. Now that 8x10 maybe cost you, I don't know, 88 cents, maybe $1 maybe, and you're selling $5. Okay, you can part with it. It's okay. If it's going to make somebody go like, yeah, okay, yeah. Great. Perfect. That's a great way to kind of incorporate. But there's other things too. Like, for example, if you search one time on Facebook, sticker company, you will be bombarded with advertisements for sticker companies. And they're always doing sales. And so these are 3x3 Punk Pro stickers that I got on some stupid deal. It was ridiculous. But they're great for giveaways. They're great for freebies. If you're like, someone's like, oh, I don't want to buy this. I'm kind of tired. I got the money. I don't know. You go, look. You get this and this, and I'll throw in a sticker. Don't worry about it. Or you want to buy an 8x10? Here's a sticker. Don't even worry about it. Or a kid comes up and goes, oh, yeah, you don't have any money. Kid, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for support.
Negotiate.
Blah, 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 blah. It's something great that you can throw in, and it costs you next to nothing. Now, in terms of shirts, I got another question from the Satitude era. It was, let's see.
Sorry.
Do I have to print shirts on black? I'm sick of seeing closets full of nothing but black t-shirts. As Effie has put it, Effie has printed 1,000 different variations of t-shirts and every color combination you can think of. And Effie has put it down on paper. The statistics don't lie. Black t-shirts outsell every single time. Black is a slimming color. So a lot of your fans are going to want that. So black t-shirts, yeah, I get it that maybe you're not thrilled about it. You can always print in another color, but don't ignore that completely. Like, it would be like if you came into wrestling and you were like, look, man, all I do are drop toe holds, and that's all I want. I'm tired of seeing people with other moves in their repertoire. I just want to do drop toe holds because that's my favorite, and that's all you do in your match. There may be one or two people in the crowd who are like, yeah, drop toe hold, love it. I'll buy on that. But for the vast majority, they'll be like, I don't give a shit. That's not what I would do. Okay. Give them options. Give them options they're going to want. So at least offer it. Doesn't have to be your end-all, be-all, and you're only printing on black t-shirts. But that's statistically what most people want to buy. So don't tell them no. Why would you tell them no? So if you want that, you got to figure out what your audience is looking for. Now, along those same lines, in the t-shirt making process, you have to keep cost in mind in regards to, hey, I got a design idea and blah, 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 and I want this and that. Okay, fine. But keep in mind that the difference between a 2-color design, as in like color A, color B on the shirt, and like a 7-color design is the difference between like, hey, I made $12 profit on this shirt versus, hey, I made $1.75 profit on this shirt. There are costs associated with it. So, for example, I have a fully gimmicked shirt here. This is a retired one, but this is just a 1-color on the shirt. Now that's a fucking weird ass design. That was for a tag team that was going around. That's a super weird design. That's a humanoid dog shooting a chain gun, riding a great white shark.
Somebody tag Logan Cruz, please.
And yes, that's actual Japanese writing. Is this an uncomfortable shirt to wear at a sushi restaurant and someone's mom, who's also the waitress, starts translating it and it says boner on it? Yeah, it's a little awkward. But bottom line is, it's an interesting shirt. And it's 1 color. It was a lot more affordable to make. Now, you see a shirt like this hotness here. Whoosh. The Unsolved Mysteries fully gimmick design, a little pricier because we're dealing with so many colors. We're dealing with a gradient color on the letters here, and so that's direct to garment printing as opposed to vinyl, which was the other one. So this is going to cost you a little bit more in terms of wholesale, but if you've got a design that needs that, then there are options out there and you can find them. You just know that you got to price it accordingly. You wouldn't necessarily price these 2 shirts to be exactly the same. And also, this comes back to confidence. If you've spent $12 to make a shirt and you're like, well, I'm going to sell them for $15 because I don't think anybody would buy it for $25. Well, then that's the profit you're going to make. But if you really bust ass and you go, here's the commitment I'm making and I'm doing all this stuff and I'm getting people to give a shit about me, then you can ask for a little more to help cover the cost of that. But keep it in mind in the design process. Don't be like, hey, every shirt's got to have the Mona Lisa on it and the shirts are going to cost $18 to make. Also, you can get weird with merch. Now, I didn't go with a prayer candle of a specific wrestler because I didn't want anybody to feel like I'm putting them over too big. But this is a prayer candle that Fully Gimmicked has made, and it's very affordable to make and super weird and super sacrilegious. But if you're willing to be that edgy and that's something that you think would be interesting and it fits with your character, then doing something like this is going to help stand out so that you're not just stuck with, I just have black t-shirts and 8x10s and nobody's buying. If nobody's buying, you're not interesting. And number 2, you can get weird with it if need be. Plus, there's always options out there for good merchandise brands. That's not just a Fully Gimmick thing. That's other merch brands in general. If you can really find good people, they'll figure out shit that's going to work for you. The new thing that Fully Gimmicked has gotten into has been flag making. You found a printing company that makes flags. And so, it's not a huge cost. No, if you would help me with that.
But sorry, I was just like, I already, ideas are rolling.
So, that's a Punk Pro flag that was printed that you could absolutely sell.
I'm the worst.
But you got to justify it. If you've got no character, then what the hell's your flag going to be? Just your driver's license photo on it? Like, nobody's going to give a shit. But if you've got something that you can really push, then a flag might make sense for you.
The Nova Alliance.
Exactly. So,
into existence.
When it comes to merch, having a variety helps. Having a variety of prices help. And it's a way that really can help you stand out and really can interest people. So having, if you can have action figures or whatever, if you've got people, the foam buddies, the slamming buddies that are coming out, those are a huge thing. There are all kinds of options, that you can
Shout outs to Che. Making Che's.
Now, that's not even like something that I've made or have, but that's a genius idea because it's something that kids can like. It's a nostalgia grab. It's all kinds of stuff. So the idea is you want to have merch that makes sense with you, with your character, and you want it to be interesting and eye-grabbing, and you want a variety of prices because you don't want everything to be like, hey, the whole table's $20 or go fuck yourself. No, because not everybody's going to throw that kind of money around. So you want to have options that you can kind of negotiate with, like you said, and give people this opportunity to support you. And I remember there was actually, Chris Bonjour first brought this up, that if you're just starting out and you're like, I don't have the money to invest in myself on this level, 8x10s are pretty cheap, but if not, there's actually you can invest in like a Polaroid camera. And for a couple of bucks, you can have somebody take a picture of you with the fan, and then you sign the bottom.
Nice.
The film's a little pricey sometimes, but you'll get 20 shots out of it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
20 shots, $5 a picture. You're walking out with $100, baby.
No.
And that's just one investment, one time in the camera, and there you go.
And then the rest on film.
Right.
No.
So even if you're not like, well, I can't commit to, I got to get 1,000 shirts and I got to get this and that and blah, 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 and I can't do the Slammin' Buddy and I can't do the prayer cane and I can't do the flag. There are other ways out there. Now, I always think of the Ugly Ducklings.
Yes.
Tag team, trios, incredible guys. I've worked with them before, love them all. Go look up the Ugly Ducklings because they actually have I think it's a GoFundMe right now because they are dealing with some medical stuff. So absolutely, the Ugly Ducklings are brilliant. But they had it so clear cut that they had a gimmick figured out. They had character, they had promotion, they had gear, they had the whole 9 yards figured out. That they went, guess what? Every fucking thing we ever find out in the wild that is duck related, we are buying for cheap and we are going to resell on our merch table. So they had rubber duckies. They had any duck-themed thing you could ever think of. It was like a flea market when they pulled their merch table out. They had everything you could possibly think of for duck-related stuff was ready to go. And they made their good money with that because they were prepared. They absolutely had it going on. So there's no reason to not have merch and not have a decent merch table.
Yeah.
And if you're not selling merch, that is indicative of you not having a character that's clear to people. If you're not getting reactions, you're not selling merch. If you're not getting reactions, your character is not clear. Now, the other thing I want to touch on is heels not making money.
Yeah.
You can absolutely make money as a heel.
Yes.
You have to have merch that makes sense, though. Chico Adams is a great example. Chico Adams is a heel. He's a fantastic heel. He was not delusional in thinking like, I'm just going to sell really like, hey, let's go, Chico. You're fucking great shirts. No one's going to buy that. But people hate my guts. So if I have somebody out of the merch table selling Chico Sucks shirts and people hate my guts, they're going to be like, hey, guy, you weren't a wrestler, whatever. I want a Chico Sucks shirt right now.
Nice.
He's making the money, baby.
Nice.
You got to build merch that makes sense with your character. That's the long and short of that. And so that's the most tangible element of having a clear gimmick is that you're telling easy stories, you're making sense with people, you're getting reactions out of people, and you're able to sell merch. That is a tangible result of putting the work in.